Good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time of the day it is you happen to view this video. I'm Dr. Susan, and we've come together to do some play and learn. So today we are going to see how a smile went all the way around the world and came back to the person that originated the smile. And a smile says a whole lot of different things in how you're feeling inside. It's a greeting to someone that you can't verbally talk to because they're far away or you aren't able to talk to right now. But the smile is something that says lots and lots of things. So we're going to see what difference this smile made as it made its journey. And then we're going to figure out how we might be able to recreate that journey. All right? So we are going to listen to the story. The story is The Smile That Went Around the World. So we're going to take a look at that. So we have our furry little character that's with us this morning, and he's going to go on the journey with us. So here we go. All right, The Smile That Went Around the World by Patrice Karst, and the illustrator is Jana Christie. And we have our dancing book today. He's purple. I love him. All right, let's see what happens here. This is a story about a smile that went around the world. This is the little boy that it's about. Justin and his mother went on their way to a party. Justin held a big plate of cookies on his lap. Along the way, they passed the bike store, the park, and people waiting for a bus. There's the bus stop and the people waiting. Then, at the next corner, Justin saw a group of people huddled in a doorway. They looked cold and sad. One of the men held a sign that said, "Please help, we are hungry." Mommy, I wish we could give the cookies to those people. They are very hungry. His mother thought about it for a minute, then she said, "You know, Justin, I think there will be enough food at the party. Yes, let's share the cookies." So she parked the car, walked over and handed them the plate of cookies. Justin rolled down his window and yelled, "You're going to like these. They're rainbow sprinkles, my favorite kind." This made Justin smile and feel good inside. As Justin and his mom drove to the party, he felt so good that he waved and smiled at all the people driving along the road. They all smiled and waved back. Then, in a big blue car, Justin saw a man who looked very unhappy. Rupert Price was going to the airport to catch a plane for his business trip to Hong Kong and was feeling very sad because he was leaving his family for 3 whole weeks. When Rupert Price saw Justin smiling and waving at him, that made him smile. By the time he got to the airport, he was feeling much better. Then, just as he got on the plane, he saw an old lady struggling with her luggage. Mrs. White was tired and alone, and a bit on the grumpy side, too. She was having trouble placing her big bag in the overhead bin, and no one even seemed to care. Then suddenly a nice young man with a smile jumped out of his seat and said, "I'll help you with that." It was Rupert Price. "Well, thank you ever so much," she said as she smiled at another. "If there's anything you need at all, ma'am, please tell me. I'll be sitting right across the aisle from you," Rupert said. During the flight, while Mrs. White felt so relaxed, she even closed her eyes and smiled, and started dreaming all the exciting things she was about to see on her trip to China. So we have Hong Kong and China. She also dreamed of a yummy Chinese food. Each day of her trip, Mrs. White met new people and talked with them about her long and wonderful life. 2 of the people she talked to were Michael and Jennifer Barton, who had just gotten married. As Mrs. White noticed, they looked sad because they had a bunch of silly arguments. When the Barons sat next to Mrs. White on the tour bus one day, she smiled and told them all about her husband, Louis. "We were married for 51 years before he passed away last year, And we disagreed about things now and then, but we always gave each other a kiss and a smile after we talked about it. Michael and Jennifer quietly looked at each other and smiled. It didn't take long for Justin's smile to spread faster and faster as it went to Rupert Price, and then Mrs. White, and then the Bartons, and all the people that they met after that. In fact, after the tour, everyone went home with a smile. Now, the smile started spreading from person to person in different countries. People were giving the smile to the next person, and then the next person, to the next, and so on and so on. It spread from people to their pets, who gave to the others just by wagging their tail or purring. The smile reached teachers and presidents and police officers. It went to old people, young people, and in-between people. It went to churches and temples and sick people in hospitals. It went to people in big buildings and people on small farms, to people who were rich and to people who were poor. It went to people who worked at the library, at the market, at the restaurant. It even went to an astronaut in outer space. Justin's smile went around and around and around the world faster than you could ever imagine until one day something very interesting happened. Justin was playing on his new soccer team and not doing very well. He started feeling sad about himself, like he was clumsy and useless and not a very good player. Coach Martinez could see that Justin was unhappy. After the game, Coach smiled at Justin and asked if he would like to stay and work on his kicking. "Your mom said it would be okay if you stayed a little while longer and I'll take you home." "Sure," said Justin. In a few minutes, Justin was already kicking the ball better and told the coach he couldn't wait until the next game. On the way to Justin's house, Coach Martinez and Justin started talking about stuff they liked to do. Justin said he liked to ride his bike with his dad, shoot hoops with his mom. Then Justin asked the coach, "What do you like to do?" "I like to run, go to the beach with my family, and fly airplanes." Coach said, Did you know I'm a pilot and I fly airplanes all over the world?" Justin was amazed by this. "Wow, you really fly those big planes?" he asked. "Yes, and I also get to meet many people from many countries. Just last week I flew to Hong Kong, and when we landed, a very nice old lady with a beautiful smile said that was the best flight she'd ever had. That made me smile and feel good inside." What Justin didn't realize was that the very smile he felt inside was giving the cookies away had now come back to him. You see, even though Justin knew it, the smile went around the world and started on his way from his very own heart. And he gave it to Rupert Price, who gave the smile to Mrs. White, who took it all the way to China and gave it to Coach Martinez, who flew it back home and gave it to Justin when he most needed it. You never really know how far your smile will go. When one comes your way, it may be traveled thousands and thousands of miles and cheered millions of people along the way before it reached you. There is a smile on its way to you right now. A smile, it was a happy heart looks like, and it doesn't need words to speak. It's a little bit of magic that is understood in every country of the world. Everyone has one, and everyone can give one, even babies. Perhaps the next smile you see went many, many times around the world. But even more amazing than that, just think how far your smile will go. The end. I like the wheel on the end. All right. Can you imagine your smile and knowing that it went all the way to China and to Hong Kong and all the other places that pilot stopped, and it ended up coming back to your own backyard? That is quite amazing. But we really don't know how far our smiles will go. So I thought it would be kind of fun today to be able to make our smile go around the world, but in a little smaller circumference. So we're going to create I don't even know what kind of a word you'd give this, but anyway, it's kind of my version of the world, and it looks like this. It's just construction paper, and then there's a string at the top, and there are 4 strings this way. And this could be the little boy, Justin. This could be Mr. Price. This could be Mrs. White. And this could be all the people that they interacted with and the smile that went all the way around the world back to Justin. So we're going to create one of these, and it's just kind of hang it up and remind you that the way you smile and every place you do smile, that it comes back eventually. It can come back in 2 seconds, just like that. That you smiled at someone in a car and they smiled back to you. It came back, right? Might have been a short distance, but it still came back. So we're going to create one of these. This is kind of fun. So what I did yesterday was I took a bunch of the magazines, because I figured, oh, I don't think I want to make just a bunch of smiles. So I took the magazine, and I went through, and I found all kinds of pictures with smiles. So these are just a few that I had, so I'm just going to lay them out so you can see them. There's kids, and there's older people, younger people. I believe this young girl is Oriental, but I don't know what. And so they're kind of right there. And I'll show you how I put those together. And then someone a long time ago, I don't remember when, gave me a whole bunch of these. These are smiley faces. I think you can see them on my hand. I'm going to lay them on the table, so or maybe on this white paper, you could probably see them better. But anyway, they're made out of felt, and there's just a whole bunch of smiles. They're really cute. So they're right there. So I'm going to take these smiles, and I'm going to use the glue stick, and I'm going to take them and put the glue stick on the back, and I'm just going to put them around, and we're going to imagine that this circular is the world. Or it could be your neighborhood. It could be the community in which you live in. It could be the state that you live in. And it doesn't necessarily mean not a lot of people are traveling right now, but it doesn't mean your smile still can't go anywhere. It can go from you to your mom, your dad. It could go to your neighbors across the street. You may not be able to get close to them and say hi, but you certainly can send a smile across the street. Okay? And then when I was going through the pictures, I thought, have you ever seen your pet smile? Have you ever seen a dog smile? I know there's pictures of them, but have you ever seen a dog smile? They smile with their tails. They wag their tails, and that's them saying they're smiling because they're in a happy mood, so they wag their tails. How does a cat smile? A cat purrs. And when you pick up a cat and you hold a cat and they just start purring away, that's their way of smiling at you. And they simply do that by wagging their tails. So if you want to cut out a smiley face, you can do that too. You can just take a piece of paper and you can draw a face, and you can take a paper punch and punch out the 2 eyes. And then you've just about done the same thing. We're going to put this smile all the way around the world. I should space these out a little bit more. So that's going to go all the way around. So it's going to go all the way around the world. And the places that it stopped, of course, we don't know where else the other people on those planes were going. We know that their first place was Hong Kong, actually, and China. And then we don't know where they went from there. They could have gone lots of places. So we're going to put this one here, like that. So now we have the smile that went around the world, okay, like that. And then here's how I created the circle. You take 2 pieces of paper. You can have them any length. It doesn't matter the length that you create them. And you just overlap it a little bit, and you staple it. We're using a lot of staples today. And just overlap it a little bit. Oops, there we go. All right. Then we're going to come around and do the same thing on the other side. Like I said, you can make it as big or small as you want. So we're going to staple that. Okay. So there we have the staple that went around. And then we're going to do punch holes. So I just put it together like a bow. Just kind of fold it in the middle. And then I put the paper punch in. Oops. And punch 2 holes. Well, it's not going to let me do it, so I guess I will do 1 hole. There's always a way, right? Okay, so we're going to punch 1 hole here. And then we're going to go over to the other side. They don't have to line up, line up across the, across the circle. They don't have to line up. We just want them kind of spread apart. There's 1. Then we'll go over here about in the middle. Put a hole here. And go on the other side. And put another hole. Just like that. Okay. Cover my glue stick. All right. Now the next thing is we have 4 pieces of yarn. Like that. And I just taped mine. And you can glue it or you can tie it through the hole or whatever you'd like to do. It's up to you. That's whatever you'd like to do. So I'm putting mine through the hole, like that, and then putting a piece of tape on it, just like that. See how that goes? So your string's going through there. Whoops. Okay, it's the same thing. I'm going to go all the way around. But can you imagine, I just had this thought, I wonder if when your smile goes around the world, if it goes around in a language, in a foreign language. What do you think? Do you think that's possible? I don't know. Maybe that you travel from one place to the other, because I know there's a lot of languages that are spoken in the United States, and I only know how to speak English. I don't know any other language. But I just wonder if you could smile at someone that you know is from a different country and that their language is different. If that smile could make a sound, what would that smile sound like? Would it sound like Japanese? Would it sound like Italian? Would it sound German or Irish? Would it sound like any of those? I don't know. That's a good question. Okay, so there we go. So now we have the circle, and we have the 4 strings. Now here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a couple of the people on there. And let's see this one. So we'll just put this one over there. So now you know how to put that one together, and we'll finish working on this one here, okay? So, oops, my string is twisted. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to lay this down, and then you can, well, let's try this 2 ways. Let's see how this works. I'm going to punch a hole here, just in the top of this one. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're just going to try it together, okay? So I'm going to put the yarn through there. And we could do it that way. Of course, you really can't see the person's face, so I guess that wouldn't be a good idea. So we know that idea doesn't work unless we go like this. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at you. Okay. And put that like that. So there we go, then we can see it. Or the other way that we can do it, then you'd have to tape it too on the string. Which might be okay too. Put a piece of tape underneath the string. Just like that. And that would hold it. Okay, like that. Or we can just take the tape, and this is double stick tape here, and put it on the back of the picture we'd already cut out. And these pictures were fun to look for because I went through like 3 or 4 different magazines to find the pictures that I thought were kind of cool. And they kind of looked like different ages of people. Look how it tilts. we need to go over here so we can straighten it out. So we have some of those. And how about we take this one? She's very cute. See the little girl? You see it? Oops, there we go. Now I got down low enough for you. And then we got this, so you can see what those are hanging like. And we'll put a piece of tape on the back of that. And we'll go across the way for her and put her over here. Because, you know, you don't even think about it, but paper has weight. And it tilts things because it makes them out of balance. There we go. So that's a little more balanced. Not quite. You have to add some more. Whoops. Of course, you don't have tape pulling on it. There we go. Can you see that? There's that one. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, we'll put these others on in just a minute, but I made other ones, and you know, there was one thing I thought about. I thought about the fact that we do get smiles from our pets. So I cut out a picture of a dog because I thought that would be cool. We can add the dog to our pictures. I thought that would be cool too, because you know, I'm sure when Mrs. White was on her travels, that she saw animals, right? Or maybe some of the friends, if she had friends that she was visiting, that maybe they had pets, and she got to play with their pets. So she actually was smiling with their pets too, right? Okay, so let's put the pet over here. Turn her around. There we go. And put that one here. There we go. See, does that straighten it up a little bit? Probably makes it too heavy. So now we need another one on this side, see? So that creates a balance, like that. So we'll put another picture. I'm just going to take this picture and stick it right on the back of that one. So that gives it a little bit more weight. And this one on the back of this one. There we go. Because when you travel, can you imagine how many people are on an airplane? Lots. So there we go. We're a little more balanced now. And so I'm going to take and put this one here, like that. And then one on the back of the dog, a little girl. And put that one there. So there's how that goes. Okay? So it's just a matter of taking the pictures. Like I said, the pictures were fun to find because I wanted to find pictures of ladies and of men and of children and families, because all those people travel, right? And if you don't want to mount your picture on the cardboard, you don't have to. It can just be taped on. So now we're a little more balanced. Okay? So there's how that looks. And then you just remember that this is the smile that went all the way around the world and got back to Justin. So there's that. So we'll finish up the pictures on that. And I'm just going to stick these together and put them on the other side. We have two people on this one. Okay. Put this one here. Tape through there. Whoops. Turn it over. And put another picture over here. So we have that. And this might be a fun thing to do if you've gone on vacation or you have visited family in a different state, maybe even a different country, that you could make one of these, take lots of pictures of them, and then print them out. And because I know that when we go visit family and friends and things like that, there's lots of smiles that go around. And we could take that, and this could also kind of be like a memory book of your trip, of the things that you've done. Like if you go to Legoland, or you go to Disneyland, or you go to any of those things, that you could make this kind of a, it doesn't have to be around the world, it can just be where you happen to go. And that would be a fun thing to hang in your room, and you'd get a chance to look at your pictures instead of having them in a photo album or just having them on mom's phone or dad's phone, that you get a chance to look at them. So there's the way we can do the pictures. And it's a thing to hang up. So it has something to remind you of your trip and the things that you learned and the things that you got to experience with going to a different place. Or especially if you go to a different country. You know, I know the different countries aren't places we're going right now, but that doesn't mean that we can't in a while. That we can still do and travel and see all those wonderful things that the world has to offer. But the biggest thing that we have that we get to offer, and that doesn't cost anything, and it's very easy. You carry it around with you all the time. It's not anything that has to be packed in a suitcase or remember to take when you go out the door, is you always take your smile. So you can take your smile just about any place you want to go and be able to create memories and to create ideas and just to learn all these different things that makes a difference not only in your world, but in your families. And when you go traveling, when we travel, what do we leave behind? Unless we left a gift or something like that. But the gift that we always leave behind everywhere we go is our smile. So let's remember the story about Justin and all the things that he did with his smile and where it went, and it came back to him. He just didn't know that. And I guess none of us really, or maybe some of us do, that when we smile and we give our smile away freely, that it comes back to us just in that instant when someone returns your smile. So as you go about the rest of your day, think about the smiles that you have and the smiles that you give, and that it's a wonderful way to bless the world with happiness and with joy. And you can create any kind of an activity or any kind of a memory. And the memories you can take from your pictures and hang them up here, and then you'll get to see all the smiles, where they went and how they came back to you. All right? So you all have a blessed day. Enjoy the day, and I hope you have fun trying to make this. It's not hard to do, and it's kind of easy, and it's kind of fun. Maybe you can make a whole family one together. That would be really cool. All right. Have a blessed day. Bye. See you.